It's only fitting on Festivus that we showcase several athletes who will display their feats of strength at Centennial High School in Circle Pines. Welcome to a Festivus edition of high school girls basketball. The Centennial Cougars at 3-4, hoping to bounce back after a tough loss to Eden Prairie. They take on the Stillwater Ponies, a team at 4-2, but in a bit of a pickle. We'll explain in a moment. Greetings, everyone. I'm Mike Peden, joined by Alex Nagel. Alex, let's start with the big news. Stillwater shorthanded tonight. Several players unable to participate, including two of their top scorers, Lexi Carlin. She and her family are out on vacation, and Amber Scalia, who suffered a finger injury in the win against Como Park. That being said, Stillwater has plenty left in the tank. They'll have Lizzie Holder and Amy Thompson, but when you have two playmakers, including Amber Scalia, the St. Thomas commit, when they are unable to play, what does that mean for the rest of this team?
Well, really, in essence, Mike, it's really next person up. I mean, that's the kind of mojo that I think you have to go with if you're Stillwater tonight. Granted, those are two big horses, in the Stillwater picture, but you have to go with what you have. There really isn't a whole lot you can do about it.
And the reason why that is such a big deal, Amber Scalia, 8th in the state in scoring, 25 points per game, 2 30-point games, much like her big sister, who's now at Minnesota. Amber, the central figure of the Stillwater unit. But Lizzie Holder is going to Colorado, and Amy Thompson is coming along as well. Those two, I imagine, will carry the load for Stillwater tonight if they're able to pick up a win. Centennial at 3-4. I talked with Jamie Sobolik earlier this evening, Alex. He said they don't have much of an inside presence, but they have a lot of crossover athletes, including Sydney Cubes, Camille Cummings, and Marissa Frost. So Centennial might be undersized, but they've picked up a few big wins in the early part of the season, and I would not be ready to count them out just yet.
No, this is a team that has very high hopes now that they've moved to Section 7A, 7-4A. You are right. They are very guard heavy. They don't have a lot of size, but don't discount this team just because of that. This is a team that has a lot of hopes, not only in Section 7, but in the Northwest Suburban Conference as well. They expect to compete for the NWSC title.
And they certainly could. They don't have to worry about that tonight against Stillwater, but the Cougars could get an opportunity to steal a signature win to add to their resume. We'll be back with the starting lineups. This is high school girls basketball.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
It's time to meet tonight's starters.
And we rejoin you at Centennial High School.
Starting five.
Alex, if you have any grievances, now would be the time to air them. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until next December 23rd.
No, I'm in good shape.
And hopefully there won't be too many grievances directed toward the officials. That's my only airing of grievance, if you could call it that.
Number 15.
Okay, we're having a little fun with the Festivus theme tonight. And Alex, as they introduce the starters, we mentioned Centennial, even though they're 3-4. Maybe no superstars that jump out at you, but Marissa Frost, she scored 10 or more in 3 games, came close to a triple-double against White Bear Lake, and Camille Cummings has been on quite a tear. Held to 6 points in the first game of the season. Since then, 20 points or more, including 33 against Osseo.
Yeah.
And now, the starters for your Centennial.
And Centennial, they have some history when it comes to the sport of basketball. You may recall they reached the state final back in 2009 with Megan Knipe. The year before, they were the heavy favorite to win it, and then Osseo upset them.
I was just going to say, when I was out in the hallway just a little while ago, I came across a picture of that 2008 team that had Megan Knight, Emily Becken, among others. That was a fantastic team, and I'll never forget that section final against Ossie where they lost. It was an unbelievable game.
Jamie Sobolik said, we'd be strong at the guard position this year, but not the size that we're accustomed to seeing. He says the defense will have to be more aggressive than before. With the starters introduced, let's recap them for you. For the visiting Stillwater Ponies, again, they look a little different tonight with all the absences. It's Liana Buckhalton, number 3. Amy Thompson, number 12. Katie Harkey, number 15. Lizzie Holder, the Colorado commit, number 22. And Lydia Knutson, number 23. Centennial will start Sydney Cubes, number 5. Camille Cummings, number 23. Autumn McCall, number 24. Number 34, Marissa Frost. And number 42, Grace Pullman. And it is worth noting, Alex, 4 players from the Centennial team competed in the Class 3A Girls Soccer State Championship. Yep. The team they played in that round was Stillwater.
Yep.
The Ponies got the title. Centennial won the first meeting between those two. Stillwater won the money one, if you will, got the gold medal. So these two, they have a little bit of history.
I think they know each other a little bit, too.
Right, across the sports spectrum.
I'm really interested and anxious to watch Camille Cummings in action. This is an opportunity tonight for her to really showcase her abilities.
Well, 20 points or more, and again, an opportunity for the Cougars to perhaps steal a win. That's not to say they're overrated or overmatched, but when Stillwater is down their top 2 players, that creates an opportunity. But conversely, Tim Pepper said this will be a great opportunity for some of his younger players to showcase what they can do.
Absolutely.
So let's see what happens. As you know, Alex, I just call it the way I see it. I don't want to make any guesses. Well, that's a good start for the Ponies. Buckhalton with the steal, but you couldn't put on the brakes. Buckhalton, the freshman.
A little indecisiveness there. She got the steal. She should have probably taken it all the way to the hoop, but made a decision at the last second, and it cost her.
And remember, she's a freshman, maybe not getting the playing time she's accustomed to,
right,
owing to the absences, illnesses, injuries. And a lot of teams going through that. A couple years ago, we just write it off as part of the process, but nothing is normal these days. Still no score as we are underway here at Circle Pines. Buckhalton had an opening, but runs a set instead. Holder with a little misdirection. Amy Thompson, the step back, swish. Amy Thompson came over from Matamidi. She played with the Zephyrs as an 8th grader, transferred to Stillwater last year, and has really blossomed. And I'll tell you what, having someone like Amy is really helpful considering Stillwater's predicament for tonight.
I tell you what, they're going to have to rely on that sophomore tonight. She came up big there on that shot.
The one positive for Stillwater, they don't have any holiday tournaments scheduled, so they'll get a couple of weeks to regroup, get some practices in, and try to get healthy again. Marissa Frost saw a lane and took it in for 2. Buckhalton almost walked again.
And Frost, another freshman, stepping up on the Centennial side.
This is Hardkey. Tim Pepper in his first season head coaching Stillwater. Buckhalton for 3. Off the back iron, and the rebound to Marissa Frost. It's 2-2 in the early going. And stepping into the elbow J was Cummings, but that's off the mark. Offensive rebound to Frost. Cummings fires the 3. Bullseye.
Well, I tell you what, one missed shot does not faze Camille Cummings.
Well, Cummings entering this game, 19 three-pointers. That was her 20th. Here's Lizzie Holder, who drives and scores. And Alex, Lizzie Holder, the last time I saw Stillwater was a couple seasons ago. Holder was coming off the bench then. To see her blossom, evolve into who she is. Hang on. She's going to Colorado, and you know what? I got to give her props. Because a couple years ago, I'm not sure I would have tabbed her as Division I material. That's going to be a traveling call. But most importantly, Lizzie believed she was Division I material and put in the work to get there. And joining her will be a fellow Fury associate, in a couple of years anyway, Kennedy Sanders. Sanders, of course, in Chaska. Lizzie Holder played with the top 2022 team, and we have an offensive foul on Centennial.
I think that's going to go on. Yeah, Sydney Coobs there.
That's the first on Cubes. This is Amy Thompson. Couple of reverses. Thompson goes for the bank. Lizzie Holder almost got the rebound. Tie up, but give her an A for effort. Lizzie Holder almost scooped that thing.
Yeah.
But again, Holder demonstrating why she's going to get a chance to play in the Pac-12. Marissa Frost gets the friendly bounce, and Centennial with an early 7-4 lead. This Centennial team, even though they're a game under 500, as Buck Halton misfires, they were up by 14 over Edina in an earlier game this season, but then they went cold from 3. And as you know, if you run into a rut, you're in trouble no matter who you are.
You know, I'll have to admit the 3-4 record kind of surprised me a little bit.
Amy Thompson, no surprises there, steps into a 3 and buries it. We're tied at 7.
I tell you, sophomore Thompson on fire here in the early going.
Thompson with a quick 5. Kick out, 3 ball. Winning the scrum for that rebound was Cubes. Cubes, we should point out, picked up 13 rebounds against Lakeville North. So Cubes does have that capability. She's averaging 8.1 boards a game. 3 ball, corner pocket. Katie Hardkey, Alex, entering tonight, Hardkey had a total of 3 points.
A little confusion on the Centennial side.
Harkey had a total of 3 points entering tonight. Something tells me she's going to set a new season high.
Yeah.
10-9 to score, 13:25 left in the first half. And Centennial, on the subject of familiarity, Jamie Sobolik, he was part of the program when Jill Becken made her second stint. Actually, the two of them had been coaching this team for several years. He took a break to raise his kids, and I actually got to meet one of them, Arabella, who Jamie hopes will suit up in the red and black and white in a few years. But this team, they've qualified to several state tournaments. That 2008-2009 group with Megan Knight, we'll never forget what she did, but this Centennial team, they reached the state tournament in 2 of the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
This is their first year in Section 7. At the start of the year, we all thought, well, that'll give them an easy ticket, but look at Blaine.
Yeah.
They're undefeated.
You know, that's Camille Cummings again.
Off the inbound, that's the second three-pointer for Camille Cummings. That is 21 triples on the season. Thompson sees a lane and a block. Autumn McCall stayed with it. It will stay Stillwater ball, but give credit to McCall responding to that fake in time.
You know, Camille Cummings, in my humble opinion, doesn't get the accolades she deserves. She seems to fly under the radar a little bit. But I tell you what.
Lizzie Holder isn't.
No.
She shows up on that radar. I'll tell you what, she keeps playing like this. We've got a 3 ball, and Centennial can't hit. Holder with the rebound. If Lizzie keeps playing like this, Nora might confuse her for Santa. Yes, folks, I'm having fun on Christmas Eve or Festivus. I'm allowed to have fun once in a while. Centennial trying to push. Cummings. Yes.
I tell you, another example of how versatile Camille Cummings really is. She can shoot the three, she can do the dribble and drive, and she showed it right there.
She's averaging 21.7 a game. And she has 8 already. Holder, 3 at the top of the key is no good. Grace Pullman with the rebound. Cummings through the hole and in. Centennial with a 16-12 lead. And remember, Stillwater playing shorthanded. Not a lot of players in uniform tonight, so foul trouble could come into play as well.
Yeah.
So far, it's been a pretty smooth game. Long three is short, and that will be a foul on Centennial as Knudsen tried to retrieve the ball.
Foul on number 24 out of the call. The first, the second. Megan Stacy on for the Gooters.
Another deep three, and it's
Well, I
yours.
tell you what, isn't she lighting it up tonight?
Amy Thompson averaging 15.2.
Foul on number 5.
16-15. Alex, we were saying how big this would be if Centennial could steal a win. It's still early, but if Stillwater were to get a victory amidst adversity, how big would that be for this team?
Oh, be a huge shout of confidence, I can tell you what.
Well, they were the favorites in Section 4-4A, although they did drop a surprising one to White Bear Lake. That team, though, has been an Achilles heel over the last couple of years. Eastridge, they're no pushover. Cummings needs help, finds it, but nothing doing there. That's number 5, Annika Pepper, the freshman. She launches the three. Got it.
Well, I'll tell
Annika
you-
Pepper already has a new season high. What are you going to say, Alex?
I was almost going to say, let's hold on here just a second. Hold that thought. I was almost going to say that it was seeming to become that Stillwater was maybe relying a little too heavily on the three. But hey, if you're making them,
Willie Taylor's teams at Stillwater had a bevy of three-point shooters.
Yep.
Sarah Scalia, for crying out loud.
yeah.
Liza Carlin could knock down threes. Alexis Pratt, she could hit a few. Entry pass off the mark. Turnover on Stillwater, 18-16. Well, Centennial's lost to Edina, for example. They shot well from three-point range in the first half. Jamie Sobolik told me second half they went 1 of 14. Sometimes you run into a slump. Other times you are blazing hot. But that three-pointer is so valuable now. Lizzie Holder swoops in for the steal, but she's poked from behind. That will go to Megan Stacy. Autumn McCall, though, got credit for the poke, or I should say, would get credit for the poke there. Cummings fires the three. Too strong. Holder has one double-double this season, 18 points, 11 rebounds in the win over St. Michael Albertville. A game where Amber Scalia crossed 1,000 points. Thompson through traffic, and she'll shoot two.
I like this sophomore guard, Amy Thompson. certainly not playing like a sophomore. Has the ability to drive into traffic and make things happen, and we've already seen what she can do from three-point land.
Amy Thompson, her favorite food is salad. And Tim Pepper said a great shooter that is starting to develop into a great scorer. Now I'm wondering what type of salad is Amy's favorite, because there's a lot of them out there.
I think I saw that. I was looking at that and I saw that and said, that's interesting. But hey, she eats healthy.
Well, again, it depends on what you're putting on your salad.
Right, that's true.
Cummings, the skip. Baseline drive. Tough angle there for the Cougars, number 15, Haley Mulberry. Stillwater has a chance to extend their lead, and remember, they have a 7, maybe 8-player rotation available tonight. That will turn around once we get through the holiday break. Lizzie Holder missing the 3. Amy Thompson is there for the putback. Amy Thompson with 11 points. Long 2, banking it in.
I don't know if
Megan
she called that or not, but Stacy got that ball to go in.
It looked a little unscripted, but it went in, and that's what counts. 21-18. Here's Pepper. Thompson. Kick out. 3 on the way. Holder has not found her stroke from three-point range yet. Stacy collects the board. Centennial looking to tie it up. That's not going to happen. Lydia Knudsen there on the block when Centennial attempted a second chance bucket. Stillwater with an open 3. Holder scrambles for the rebound. Long skip to Thompson. Drives through traffic, can't get the bounce. Jump ball, Stillwater with the arrow.
Well, I tell you, Mike, one thing that's likely has to be a little worrisome for Coach Jamie Sabalik tonight is those second and third opportunities that Stillwater seems to be getting right now.
Amy Thompson off to a hot start, 11 points. Alex, we'll have to see what happens here, but Amy Thompson has been all over the place in terms of scoring.
Yeah.
3 games with 20 points or more, 3 games with less than 10 entering tonight. She has 11 already, so that would seem to portend another 20-point effort. We'll see. And again, the circumstances a little unusual tonight compared to the other games. Thompson. That time I think she tried to force it. Didn't have a great space. I thought maybe back off and reset, but Centennial will try to take advantage, and they will. Frost lays it in to make it a 1-point game. Stillwater qualifying to the last 3 state tournaments, winning Section 4-3A. Last year, though, wasn't easy. They had to sweat out an overtime session with Eastridge. Thompson fakes the 3, can't hit the runner. And Centennial has a chance to take the lead. Marissa Frost almost checked into her own teammate there in Cubes. That 3 looked off from the point of release. And Centennial lost the scrum for the ball. Here come the Ponies. Ooh, that is a foul on Centennial. That will send Annika Pepper to the line.
Well, I tell you what, Haley Mulberry thought she made a great defensive play. I did too momentarily.
It was a heck of a try. Pepper knocks down the front end. As we said before, only 2 points all season, so can't really tell you a whole lot about her game yet. That will probably change tonight.
McCall and Cubes back in on the Centennial lineup.
Pepper splits at the line. Stillwater with a 22-20 lead, and Centennial will go to the line. Autumn McCall will shoot 2.
McCall, just a freshman, but has that length. You know, that's something that Centennial certainly needs. And don't be surprised if head coach Sabalik relies more and more on this freshman, Mike, as the season progresses.
McCall, 5 points, 6.1 rebounds per game. Her free throw shooting hasn't come to form yet. She gets 1 of 2. That gets her on the board. 22-21. Pepper to Holder. The kick out. Knutson has it now. Who tried to go up against McCall, couldn't shake her. And McCall records a rejection. Centennial can take the lead. 3 on the way. Off the front rim. McCall gets the rebound, and Stillwater gets the steal. Amy Thompson got the bounce. Both teams struggling to find baskets right now. Holder looking to change that. How about that move?
I tell you what, you get her in the lane, she's awfully tough to stop.
How about that hesitation move at the end to get the jumper? That's a tough skill to pull off. How many times have we seen players try that only to get called for traveling? Pepper gets the rebound, draws the foul. Centennial still had 2 to give. And you know how badly Amber Scalia would want to play.
Oh.
And she toughed it out on Tuesday, and Stillwater needed all 30 of her points when the Ponies beat Como Park. Stillwater running an extended passing set. Turnaround, tough shot there for Elise Dieterle, number 13. Here comes Cummings. Cummings, elbow J. Short, and the rebound went to Knutson, but Centennial got in there to force the tie-up. 4:03 left in the first half, 24-21 the score.
It hasn't been what you would call a great shooting night by any means from a Centennial standpoint yet. They're still within a single possession here. 4 minutes to go.
Not unlike the Champlain Park Totino Grace game we covered last week.
Yeah. Wasn't that a fun one?
3 on the way. Neither team finding much success with their shot selection as of late. And in the case of Stillwater, their team looked a lot different on Tuesday than they do tonight. You have several players who probably wouldn't start most of the season, but have to with the situation at hand.
It's that next person up mentality that we were talking about at the top.
Elise Dieterle gets the fadeaway to fall. And it's 26-21. Cummings. Centennial almost lost it. They do recover, though. Buckhalton with a deflection to stop a potential 3. McCall has it knocked away.
McCall kind of got caught in no man's land there.
It would be no woman's land, Alex. This is females.
Ah, well, yes.
You were close.
I tell you, that Stillwater defense not giving the Cougars much room to breathe here. And again, McCall got caught in a bad spot.
Cummings tried to go up. Dieterle was on her just enough to alter the shot. We mentioned Willie Taylor's teams at Stillwater. If you're wondering why he isn't on the bench anymore, he moved to St. Paul Academy. That's where his daughter attends school, and he wanted to be there to see his daughter's big moments. And a couple folks gave me a strange look when they heard that he took over the SPA job, but you know what? Look what he did at Central and Stillwater.
Yeah.
I wouldn't count Willie Taylor out. Amy Thompson with the steal. Trying to hook up with Holder in transition, and Lizzie will go to the line for two.
I'll tell you what, Amy Thompson continues to impress. We saw her shoot the three. We've seen her drive and dribble ability. Now we're seeing her doing it on the defensive end as well.
Lizzie Holder, a tennis and basketball athlete at Stillwater. Her siblings called her Biz growing up, and some of her teammates adopted that nickname. Tim Pepper says her versatility allows her to shoot from the three-point line and defend the other team's best perimeter player. She connects on both free throws, and Alex, it hasn't been pretty for Stillwater, but they have built a 7-point lead.
Yes, and I was just going to say, we're coming down on the 2-minute mark. This is kind of a critical juncture here, I think, for Centennial. This is where you have to start showing a little more efficiency on offense. They've been coming up empty the last few possessions.
Cummings got off to that blazing start. Centennial running into some headwinds since then. Ooh, that was close to a travel. Tough lane for Marissa Frost. Stillwater collects the rebound. Thompson thought about it. Here's Holder. Says, I'll try to take it myself. Cubes cut her off. Cougars on the run. And shooting free throws will be number 11, Nacy Littlefield, the 5'8 junior. That gets Littlefield on the board. Littlefield averaging 7.1 points per game, 66% free throw shooter, 2.9 rebounds. So Littlefield, an integral part of this Centennial team, even if she doesn't start. Those are two big free throws for Centennial, though. They're in that field goal drought, so any points you can get are welcome. Thompson almost lost her footing. Fires the three. Bullseye. Do you think Thompson did that on purpose?
I don't know.
To try to draw the defense off?
You'd almost swear that she might have.
That puts her up to 14. Littlefield.
Nice move by Littlefield there.
6-point lead for the Ponies, 31-25. 40 seconds left in the half. Pepper to Holder. Thompson again. Too strong that time. Centennial will let it bounce out for a dead ball rebound. 28.3 on the clock.
Cougars dodge a bullet there. Chance to edge closer here now. Stay within striking distance.
Cummings gets the friendly bounce. She's up to 12. Thompson on the move. Quick set. Holder for three. And that will be it for the first half. Alex, that was an entertaining one. Stillwater, even though they're shorthanded, playing well, 31-27. They hold a 4-point lead. Amy Thompson, a big reason for that.
I was just going to say, she's put on quite a display in this first half. Meanwhile, for Centennial, they had that dry stretch we were talking about, but they were able to close the gap here a little bit. We've got a great game, only a 4-point difference.
And that means anything can happen. Remember, Stillwater looking for a statement win. Centennial looking for one as well. Whoever wins will certainly get a signature victory on the resume, but we have 18 more minutes to figure that out. Stick around. This is high school girls basketball.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Mike Peden and Alex Nagel back with you at Centennial High School in Circle Pines. Second half about to start between Stillwater and Centennial. It's the Ponies who lead the Cougars 31-27. Amy Thompson with 14 points. Lizzie Holder with 8. Those are your notables for the Ponies. Camille Cummings got off to that quick start for Centennial, knocked down a couple of threes, and then she and the rest of the team cooled off. That being said, Alex, only a 4-point margin. It won't take much to find some momentum. Whoever can get on that run first could have a big edge.
Absolutely. I mean, and again, what an incredible first half for Amy Thompson. Just so fun to watch. You know, I think, again, if you're head coach Jamie Sabalik, you have to be a little concerned about the second and third opportunities that Stillwater was getting on the offensive end. You've got to limit that stuff. They've been able to stay close, I mean, despite that dry spell you were mentioning. But I think even more worrisome is just keeping Stillwater off the boards, limiting those second and third opportunities.
And that first half is indicative of how much Stillwater has built up their program over the years. When Willie Taylor took over, they didn't have a whole lot of history.
Right.
But Willie and the Scalias all instrumental in building up the youth ranks, growing the numbers, turning Stillwater into a destination. Remember, they got the silver medal in 2019.
Yep.
And played well against Chaska, at least for one half last year. They gave the defending state champs a run for their money, so we could have had a much different outcome in that quarterfinal round. Centennial looking to heat up their shooting.
Been a rough night for Cube so far.
Just 2 points. And speaking with Jamie before the game, he said the one team that worries him is Blaine, and not because they're in the same section as the Bengals, but he said the Bengals, in particular this season, are finding ways to win close games. They're not blowing teams out. Lizzie Holder blows by everyone for the score. And Stillwater, they got a reminder that there are no guarantees themselves when they lost to White Bear Lake, a team that hasn't performed all that well, but White Bear Lake, they've got some three-point shooters. If they go on a hot streak, they can play an upset bid. That series with Eastridge, though, that's going to be the one to watch if you're a Stillwater fan. Camille Cummings, short on the three. And Alex, Camille just struggling to find her shot. She'll try again. Short once more.
It's not that uncommon for shooters to struggle from time to time. But a good shooter puts those mistakes behind them and keeps shooting. And I think Camille Cummings is that kind of a shooter. She'll find her touch.
And it can be frustrating when they're not going in.
Yep.
And as a fan, you're like, why do you keep shooting that? But Alex, you hit it on the head. Stay with it. The worst thing you can do as a shooter is take yourself out of the game. Buck Halton inside.
Well, I tell you.
Autumn McCall, her interior defense, she may be undersized, but she's made a couple of plays tonight.
Big block by the freshman there.
Ponies ball. Holder again.
I tell you what, 2 strong moves by Holder early on in this second half. And just like that, it's an 8-point lead for Stillwater. And again, this could be a critical juncture now for Centennial.
This is the largest lead of the game for the Ponies. Jump ball. Centennial with the arrow. 15:56 left in the second half. Like we were saying, Alex, if Stillwater with a 7-player rotation effectively could pull out this win, I don't want to say it would be a turning point, but like you noted earlier, it would jolt their confidence.
Yes.
Look out.
Well,
Buck Halton will be hit with a foul. Go ahead.
Collisions out there.
It's not Sunday yet. The Rams aren't coming into town. You can lay off there.
I knew you'd bring that up at some point for my guys.
Well, they're coming into town, but you know what? I might be pulling for the other team. They're fighting for a playoff spot, too. Crazy playoff race this year. The only certainty is Green Bay punching their ticket.
Yeah.
Everything else is up for grabs. Not unlike this sport, though. How many surprising results have we seen already?
Well, this is where you're seeing some pressure applied by Camille Cummings. I think this is where Centennial has to amp up that defensive pressure, too.
They haven't thrown a lot of pressure at Stillwater. Lizzie Holder.
Oh, I tell you what.
No pressure whatsoever. Another drive and finish.
She's really stepped up things here in this second half.
14 points overall. And that was Hardkey, I believe. And another jump ball, Centennial with the arrow. Lizzie Holder, her season high, came against St. Michael Albertville. And Stillwater's lead now 10. I know Centennial trying to find that 3. Lizzie Holder got a piece of it, I believe. Thompson looking to make some moves. Ooh, Harkey, that was close. Holder. Buck Halton, deep 3.
Considering the patience that Stillwater showed on that, I thought that 3 might have been a little ill-timed, but sometimes when you're open, you have to take that shot.
Cummings open for 3. Bullseye.
And Centennial needed that.
To go off your point, Alex, about Buck Halton's deep 3, remember, this is Stillwater we're talking about as Thompson steps into a 3 and answers back.
Picking up right where she left off.
You have to remember, Alex, Sarah Scalia, a graduate of Stillwater, she made a reputation for 82-foot three-pointers. Camille Cummings, I think that was deflected. Stillwater ball. Sarah Scalia, to me, popularized deep three-point shooting at this level. Timeout Centennial, 40-30 the score. I'll never forget the first Stillwater game I covered, or first or second in Scalia's junior season. She was knocking down threes from that 10-foot volleyball line.
Yeah, that's...
And I'm going, are you crazy? And she's still doing that in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Amber Scalia is going to do that at St. Thomas next year.
No question about it. You know, you talk about crazy. We were talking about this before this contest started. You know, the different sections in Class 4. You look at Section 2, and you talk about crazy. I mean, you have so many good teams in that section alone, they could have their own state tournament.
Carl Pearson made that note, and that's been the case for the last several years. A couple years ago with Section 6, that was a little lopsided with Hopkins and Wayzata. And Carl Pearson's point, you and I have made this in various forums, the way it's structured is difficult because it creates these lopsided sections where you've got 3 ranked teams in 2.
Yeah.
Only 1 will advance to the tournament. The others, Section 1, a little weaker this year with all the graduations at Farmington. Lakeville South beating Lakeville North, speaking of surprises.
Yeah.
They've already matched last year's win total, the Cougars have, of Lakeville South. We'll see. Hey, we got a shot clock after years of pleading for one.
Yep.
And Carl Pearson, he's a wonderful ambassador of the game.
Sure
and
is.
He wants to promote equity, and he wants to get this sport the showcase and the platform it deserves. Pepper knocks down the three after Holder was short.
And all of a sudden, everything going Stillwater's way. Let's see if Centennial has a run in them to get this thing close again.
The Ponies lead by 13, and they could extend it here. They only have 7 players. Holder lost it. Cummings on the move. A much-needed transition score for the Cougars. Buckhalton. No good. That's the stop Centennial was looking for. Can they cash in? Last touch by Buckhalton. Tim Pepper. Tim Pepper has another opinion on that.
Tim Pepper, of course, was an assistant at St. Kate's for a number of years.
You mentioned that. Simley and heavily involved with the Minnesota Fury.
Yep.
I talked to Alexis Pratt last spring after the move was made, and she and others praising his credentials. You know, Tim Pepper, he had that strong Simley team with Abby Kine. I think she was a youngster back then.
Oh. Well, I tell you
Speaking
what.
of youngsters, Autumn McCall.
You wouldn't expect a freshman to step up like that, but McCall is sure taking her cue.
Age is just a number, Alex, whether you're young or young at heart.
Yes.
I had a feeling you would appreciate that phrasing. But that is a big bucket for Centennial.
Especially to get an offensive rebound there.
Can't hang on to it. That's the first field goal for McCall, we should point out. And McCall, one of 2 freshmen on the team. There are a lot of juniors in that group. Here's Holder with the 3, and it finally drops.
Well, I tell you.
And the score, there we go. It should be 46-34.
Yeah.
Rebound and the roll for Macy Littlefield.
Macy Littlefield gets her own rebound.
Her season high is 11, in case you're wondering. Buckhalton thought about it. Instead runs a high-low play.
Yep.
And Dieterle converts. I don't know if Buckhalton intended to shoot the 3 or used it as a decoy, but that was a smooth-looking pass there. Cummings steps into the elbow J off the back iron. 48-36. Stillwater in control this second half. Another 3 from Holder. Banks it in.
Maybe somebody should call the Circle Pines Fire Department and have somebody cool her off. Goodness, she's setting this place ablaze.
And Centennial throws it away. Lizzie Holder with their first 20-point game of the season.
And what a time to do it, too, when the team is shorthanded. You know, it's, again, you know, what we were talking about at the top, you know, the next person mentality, somebody stepping up. We're seeing Lizzie Holder do that tonight.
And as we stated in the open, it's not like Stillwater's cupboard was bare. It's close to it, but they still had a couple of high-caliber players in Thompson and Holder. Speaking of Thompson, almost got the step back to drop. But Holder races in to collect the rebound. Buckhalton for 3. Over the backboard, so a dead ball rebound to Centennial. It's not unlike the team from 4 years ago, Alex, 4 or 5 years ago, when Alexis Pratt played her first season
Yeah.
at Stillwater. She was a freshman. Sarah was the junior. It was a two-woman show. Liza Carlin came in and helped change that the following year.
That was a fun team to watch, wasn't it?
They were. And I'll tell you what, this Stillwater team, if they can play like this with just 7 players available, just wait till they get everyone back.
Yeah.
The hope is Amber Scally will be able to return soon. Lizzie Holder again. Cummings gets the rebound. Centennial with numbers. Cummings draws the foul. Will shoot 2.
Ball number 5, Annika Pepper, her second. Team's third. Cummings at the line for 2.
Cummings with 17 points. Also does track and field at Centennial. She really likes buying shoes. Which leads me to wonder, how big is her shoe closet? How many pairs do you think she owns? Well, when she watches this, perhaps she'll answer that question on YouTube or Twitter. 31-57. Scramble for the ball. Picked up by Centennial. This is Cubes. Mulberry. Centennial, let's see if they can get some points here. Offensive rebound. Cubes tried to go up against Thompson, and Amy's lanky frame prevents that from happening. Holder draws the blocking foul, and she will shoot 2. I don't know if Pullman was set in time, and I didn't get a good look, Alex. I wonder if she,
I wasn't sure.
She may have been in the restricted zone.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell right away, but I'll tell you what, Lizzie Holder, she's a fearless attacker. She's turned some awkward angles into scoring plays, and the Ponies. I wasn't sure what to expect when Tim Pepper told me this was the wrong game to cover. And not because he lacks faith in the team, but because of all the absences tonight. Maybe this isn't the sharpest Stillwater has been all season, but they're looking pretty good here. I imagine with Amber and Lexi, they'd be a little more poised, but they're holding their own. And Lizzie Holder, right away, takes the inbound feed up for 2. Cubes tried to bounce pass it, and instead fed it right to Lizzie Holder. Thompson with the side fade. Can't hit the 3. I wonder, Alex, if Stillwater hangs on to win this game and Lexi and Amber watch this tape, you wonder if they might ask the other players, hey, can we take another game off? Let's let you... You seem to be doing fine.
Well, I tell you what,
No,
they're itching to get back in action as soon as possible.
Well, in the case of Lexi Carlin, she and her family planned a vacation. This is a late addition to the season schedule, so they couldn't change their plans in time. Amber, of course, hurt. You can't account for that. Lizzie Holder with the upright block.
I tell you what, she's been all over the place in the second half, hasn't she, Mike?
Amy Thompson paved the way in the first half. Lizzie Holder following her trail in the second. 15 points in the second half for Holder. She has 15 points, Alex. Centennial has 10. But I think it comes down to shooting. Centennial struggling to get the ball in the net.
Yeah.
And you've got Lizzie Holder, the Colorado commit. Thompson off the quick inbound feed. Alex, the way Stillwater has found scoring plays off of inbounds, that is impressive.
Yes.
It takes a lot of skill to turn those quick skips into quick buckets, but Stillwater has done that multiple times tonight.
Well, Centennial awfully lucky to retrieve that ball.
Cummings with Thompson in her face. No good. That last three for Thompson, Alex, gives her her fourth 20-point game this season, which means she continues her trend of 20-point games or less than 10.
Well, I tell you what,
games Stillwater has played. Go ahead.
just 7.5 minutes left here. Still a ton of time. Time for Centennial to get closer into this game, but they've got to get more transition opportunities. That seems to be their best bet right now, what's worked for them best. The half-court, at least in the second half anyway, half-court offense has been a struggle.
Megan Stacy draws the foul. Perhaps a little flustered with how this game has gone, especially the second half. Front end no good. And looking ahead at the schedule, Alex, Centennial, they will play in the Roseville Holiday Invite. They get Roseville and Eastridge, two up-and-coming teams in the Suburban East. Offensive foul.
Jim Pepper not happy with that call.
From here, I thought Haley Mulberry was set in time, but I'm up here, they're down there.
Yeah.
So it's a bucket was in before contact. That's not how the rule works, as I understand it. Cummings will head to the bench for now. But Roseville and Eastridge, two up-and-coming teams in the Suburban East. Those will not be easy assignments for Centennial. The rest of the Suburban East, they have yet to play Maple Grove. We've seen how tough they can be, and Maple Grove, they can go too deep in their front rotation.
Oh.
And keep an eye out for Blaine.
You know, that Blaine team you were talking about earlier, that's really the surprise team. Who would have thought, even just by the holiday time, they'd be undefeated.
And they're ranked in the top 10 in the most recent poll.
Now that could be a real surprise team in the Northwest Suburban Conference.
Well, as Jamie was saying earlier, as Centennial shoots free throws, they're learning how to win close games. How many times, Alex, does that come into play during a season?
Yep, well, absolutely.
If you can win the close games.
Absolutely.
Those nail biters.
That's where you got to get the job done.
Mulberry missing the front end of a 1-and-1, so an empty possession for the Cougars. Entry pass deflected and intercepted by number 10, Katie Anderson. Looks like some of the younger Centennial players are getting in there now, including Emma Walsh. Thompson drains the runner. If you're wondering, Thompson's season high is 26. She's a few points off of that tonight. Lizzie Holder, she's not ready to end the block party just yet.
I tell you what, she's getting it done on both ends of the floor tonight.
So Centennial sending in some of the reserves. Stillwater really can't because they only have 7 available.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering, are Stillwater, are they going to try to run up the score here? No, they just don't have the bodies. Holder to Thompson. Bullseye.
How many times have we said that tonight?
If you're Centennial, far too many. Foul on Stillwater. But Alex, this is going to present a strange scenario here with 5.5 to go and Stillwater securing the win most likely. Oftentimes, you'll see the deep players come in that on JV, but because so many players aren't here tonight, the Ponies can't really do that.
Yeah, I know.
How often does that happen?
Not very often. But they've not only found a way to survive, they found a way to flourish.
I thought you were going to say thrive and go with the rhyming scheme.
No.
That's all right, Alex. We'll give you a few points for that.
Thank you.
We'll give you 1,000 points. Even though it's like whose line is it anyway in the booth, the points don't matter up here. Take those points, spend them however you want. Speaking of points, Lydia Knutson gets her first pair of points tonight on the baseline drive. Another drive coming up short for Centennial. Thompson feeds it to Holder. Count it.
No. I tell you what, impressive would probably not do enough to describe Holder's efforts tonight.
Well, the only one that matters, 25 points. I think that sums up her effort succinctly and smoothly. She won't get the free throw, but it's academic. If you're wondering, let's see what Centennial does. Oh, nice move around Buckhalton by Macy Littlefield. Centennial needed that. Lizzie Holder is still outscoring Centennial in the second half as Thompson feeds Pepper for three. Holder has 17 points this half. Centennial has 12. I did not see that coming.
No.
That's a foul on Holder. And as we said, you're going to see Stillwater's players for the most part stay on the floor because they just don't have the numbers to send in your JV players for stat padding time.
And only the second foul on Holder tonight too, which seems amazing in some aspects.
Centennial will send in their front players.
Centennial, meanwhile, bringing in another wave of players. Camille Cummings, Cubes, part of that group coming in.
Let's not forget, this is a 4-point game at the half.
That's the other amazing thing. I mean, this was a pretty close game, very tight. We thought it could go either way.
I'm laughing because everyone lost their track and they thought, okay, run a set now. No, you get 2 free throws.
That'll happen.
You got to love the little things in a game like this. And Centennial, this is a tough week for them. They had Eden Prairie on Tuesday. And you know, Alex, how tough EP is, how deep that front five is.
Oh, boy.
Next week you get Roseville and Eastridge. Those aren't 2 pushovers.
No.
Blaine, Maple Grove, some of the teams in the Northwest Suburban who have made a splash. You were talking about sections earlier. Amy Thompson drives and scores.
Making it look routine now.
Thompson with the season high. So the 2 starters, the 2 big names for Stillwater that were still here, come up clutch. Holder picks up her 3rd foul. Camille Cummings will have a chance for a 3-point play. And that gives Cummings another 20-point performance. So, even though I think Camille would have preferred a closer game, her streak of 20-point games will continue. Her 7th game with 20 points or more.
She's going to do a lot of big things yet for the Centennial Ball Club before it's all said and done.
And she's the senior at Centennial. Looking at this lineup, they have a lot of juniors. They've got a few seniors. They have a chance to grow They graduated a couple of big names last year in Anderson and Geyer. They're smaller this year.
Yeah.
They've won some games, though. If they can find more consistency with the perimeter shooting, that could change their fortunes.
Jenna Geyer, of course, now playing at UW Green Bay.
The Division I school. Amy Thompson almost had an encore. Maren Westeen will join her in a couple of years. Westeen, one of the Becker kids. Cummings fakes the three, goes baseline. And as Jamie Sobolik told me, he doesn't have any D1 superstars in this year's roster. But that doesn't mean one can't come along down the road.
Right.
Pepper, she's been feeling it all night. And I know a lot of attention, Alex, has gone to Holder and Thompson, and justifiably so. But let's give a shout out to Annika Pepper. She had 2 points entering this game. She has 10 tonight.
Well, again, I think for these younger Stillwater players who have had to step up tonight, a performance like this, a game like this, is just a huge shot of confidence of the arm for them.
And you know what? How much could that experience matter later in the season?
Oh, absolutely.
If one of them has to come in.
It's absolutely.
Say someone gets hurt or one of your players gets in foul trouble, and you have to step up in the clutch. Anna Perrin gets the rebound and the putback, and you like to see that out of Centennial, staying with it. Buck Halton, no good. Rebound, and the putback a little too strong from Dieterle. Cummings steps into a long two and gets her own rebound. We'll try again. Swish. That puts up to 25. Even though Buck Halton didn't score tonight, Pepper had 10. But if any of them have to come in for whatever reason, they're going to have a game of experience that you normally don't get. And I know most basketball coaches have their 7, 8, 9 players in mind. You can't find minutes for everybody, of course. It's a hard subject to balance, but again, this was out of necessity due to the limited numbers Stillwater had tonight.
Right.
What that could mean in a later game if they have a tight one with Eastridge or Roseville or Wyzetta, they come up later in the schedule. And someone from this group has to come in. They're going to have the rep, the experience that you can't get at practice. As it looks like Stillwater is content to run out the clock. Without a shot clock, you can do that. And they've done enough. So it looks like Thompson will finish with 27, which is a season high. Holder, her first 20-point game this season. They combined for 52 of Stillwater's 71 points. And Centennial found some opportunities late. This Cougars team, I think, still looking for their identity.
Yeah.
But if they find it, you never know. They could give Blaine a run in Section 7.
Well, and sometimes for a young team like this, it's, like you said, finding your identity.
Hey, Sydney Cubes, for example, gets the steal and the layup. You never know. That's why you play till the final whistle. So Stillwater with just 7 players, half the team absent, and the Ponies pull away in the second half with the 2-woman tandem of Lizzie Holder and Amy Thompson. They combine for 52 points. Both get season highs. And Stillwater picks up another win to close out the pre-Christmas portion of the season, 71-51 the final.
It's just so impressive what the Stillwater team did tonight, shorthanded, players out with injuries. What we saw in that first half, we saw Amy Thompson doing her thing from three-point land. And then the second half, Lizzie Holder taking over. It was just a great performance.
A great performance and a statement win for the Ponies. They're going to get an affirmation that they can find a way to win in the midst of adversity. We'll try to get a word with our two-woman show when we come back. This is high school girls basketball. The Ponies beat the Cougars 71-51. Joining me are Lizzie Holder and Amy Thompson, responsible for 52 of Stillwater's 71 points, both record season highs. Lizzie, we'll start with you. You didn't have a 20-point game this season coming into tonight. I imagine the circumstances played a part because normally with Amber and Lexi in the lineup, that balances the scoring. But in the second half, you went on a tear. You were outscoring Centennial by yourself for a time. How do you think your second half performance gave Stillwater the run they needed to pull away?
I think just all together we played as a team more, and we were able to share the ball and give the girls the open shots. I mean, honestly, we just played as a team, and we meshed really well, surprisingly, with the younger girls stepping up.
How do you approach a game like this when you know Amber can't play, Lexi's on vacation, several other members of the team not in uniform or not here tonight, 7 players dressed? That's more common in AAU than in high school, but you found a way to get it done. What's your mindset in a situation like this?
Yeah, there were definitely a lot of nerves going into it. Definitely just keeping like a happy mindset and just effort. You have to your effort depends on how you play. So like if you don't put in the effort, then you didn't play well. So it all just depends on your effort.
I think you put in effort and then some. You displayed some real feats of strength tonight. It is Festivus after all. In particular, your slashing ability, your threes weren't falling early, so you went to the lane frequently to find scoring opportunities. How have you developed that part of your game?
I think it all started in the AAU season. It took a lot of just time working in the gym. It has been a drastic change, but it's good.
Amy, 27 points tonight, new season high for you. You were knocking down threes, and then you and Lizzie hooked up a few times. What would you make of your second season with the Ponies? Last year was your first year in a strange season. You get another strange circumstance tonight with just 7 players, but how did you find that motor to get Stillwater some offense?
Yeah, I think I'm just more confident now. I've put in the work and I know what I can do, and I was just aggressive and attacking and giving all my effort.
Not to mention your perimeter shooting was on point as well. There's a history of that, of course, with the Scalias, and it looks like you may add your name to that list. What is the secret for anyone out there that is looking to use the perimeter shot? What would your advice be?
Well, first of all, just hours in the gym, practicing thousands of shots, and just confidence, I think, is more important even than that.
Speaking of confidence, what does a win like this do for Stillwater's confidence where, in spite of everything, you know that if you have a short-handed lineup, you can still go out there and still put in hard work?
Yeah, I think it really shows our depth and just what we're going to be in the future with all the younger players that stepped up and did very well. And it just shows that everyone can contribute, even if someone's having an off night or is gone or injured.
I was going to say, now are you going to tell Lexi she can take a few more days off because the way you played tonight, it's like, yeah, we don't need you. I'm kidding, of course. But what can they do when Amber, she was here tonight, of course, couldn't play? What kind of advice did she offer you when you found out, all right, she can't play tonight, but we still have a game to play?
She really just told us to keep a happy, positive mindset, and she was just there to support us, and we were doing the same for her.
Yeah, she just told us that, you know, to play like it's a normal game and give effort and play together.
You certainly did, and I have a feeling that's going to make Amber and Lexi, in all seriousness, even more excited to come back, knowing that you've got a couple of big-time playmakers to feed off of. Before we go, you want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Shout out to Jana.
Shout out to Jenna, and a shout out to all the future Colorado fans. I think they're going to be pretty excited to see someone join their ranks next year in the Pac-12. Well, congrats on the win. Enjoy the holiday break. And as much fun as it was to see the two of you, if you can find a way to bring back Amber and Lexi, please do, because I think it's even more fun when those two are part of it. And judging by the look on your face, I think you agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Lizzie Holder and Amy Thompson, again, congrats on the win. They moved to 5-2 with the victory over Centennial. That does it from here. For Alex, Nagel, and the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thanks for watching.